it's no mistake. You know, week 10 was like, oh, she kind of chubby. Week 12 was like, it could be bump, it could be bloat. But baby, week 16, it's a baby up in. She's baking a thing. She's baking a bun. She's got bun in the oven. Hello, everyone. My name is Kiera. Welcome back to my channel. If you're not new here, if you are new here, welcome. It's good to see you. Hope you enjoy this content. I know you're here for a good reason, so let's get into it. I am a little bit late recording this video. It should have been entering month 3 of my pregnancy, but here we are, 4 months pregnant. This past week I just turned 4 months pregnant, so we can recap the month 3 too. But we've made it to the finish line of the first trimester. We're now in the second semester. We're now in the second trimester, and I have a lot of reflection. If you guys saw my previous video where I was like recapping months 1 and 2 of being pregnant, it was really just a whole lot of what the kind of thoughts. But we're here now in the second trimester, 4 months pregnant, and I'm just kind of like cruising with the occasional, what the hell? I'm pregnant. That's crazy. So I have a lot of thoughts and feelings about entering the second trimester, things that I expected, things that I didn't expect. So generally my mood has been a lot less anxious because I have made it past that dreaded 13-week mark of, worrying every day, checking to see, what's the likelihood of my pregnancy remaining viable. And granted, second trimester and third trimester do not exclude you from those things, but first trimester is where it's likely to happen. And so being able to kind of be out of that headspace was really good for me, especially now that I feel my child, which I'll talk about a little bit more. But in general, just from the first trimester, just the reactions of people was really, it's been exciting. I'll say, like, me and my husband, we have a great support system. We have a big community around us in general. But when we shared the announcement, there were so many people who were like, I've been waiting for this, like this the one we've been waiting for, kind of thing. And it was like, I was like, I don't like being center of attention, for one. So fun fact, after I posted the pregnancy announcement, I actually deleted all my apps because I didn't want to see what anybody had to say for a few days. But the support in the community around us has really been a lot of, let me show you how I want to support you, instead of just people being like, oh, I can't wait to see my niece. And we like, bro, we ain't talked to you since 7 years ago. What are you talking about, little niece? You not gonna be talking about child. You ain't even talked to me. But I ignored that, and I focused on the positive of the people who do show up for us and the people who do support us. And it was just a really good feeling to know that, oh yeah, she's surrounded by great people. We've curated a great environment for her to grow up in. She's gonna have lots of people that she probably consider aunts and uncles. And she has her aunts and uncles, but she's gonna have like her play aunts and uncles and both sets of grandparents. And it's just a really great feeling of being embraced. And even extending as far as like our family, but then like our extended family. So great aunts, great cousins, great uncles. Everybody's just excited to meet Zora. And they're, tuning in. They're excited to see all the updates. People are living for my pregnancy journey experience. And it's a really fun moment. I do get a little bit anxious from time to time because I do feel like I'm in the spotlight and they have a lot of questions, and a lot of them don't mean anything in a negative way, but a lot of times it's like stuff that I've put in the back of my mind. I don't want to think about it right now. So I do get a little anxious from time to time, but to know that those people are, surrounding us and loving on us, praying for us, that makes my heart super happy. And speaking of support, the one underrated support system that I rely on daily is Reddit. Now, there are a lot of community forums, there are a lot of mom groups on Facebook, but those can get really messy really fast. And Reddit, there's a subreddit called Pregnancy Bumps, and they each month they start a new group for the people who are expecting, not who people who just found out they're expecting. So when I found out I was expecting in November, the mom group July 2024 Bumps was formed. And so it's a private sub. You have to verify your pregnancy and your expected due date to get in the group, because there are a lot of trolls on Reddit. There's a lot of negativity on Reddit, and some people just like to infiltrate the groups. But once you get in those groups, they end up going private. So it's a very what's the term? It's a very intimate group. I think in my subreddit there's I don't know, there's a few hundred people, and every day we're posting. Every day there's a daily thread where you just chat with the moms who are as far along as you. So a lot of you guys are experiencing the same symptoms. Y'all are experiencing the same things with family and friends. Y'all are dealing with the same amount of stress at this time, and it's just a great way to support each other. And one thing that was super, as a data, this is a sidebar, but as a data person who loves data, I love research, they do a group survey, and it shows a big diverse pool of all of these participants. And it's wow, there's so much potential research that could go into these groups. You have moms talking about what kind of symptoms they're enduring daily, and at different stages it's oh, just by looking at these surveys we can see that at 12 weeks a mom might be more likely to experience this than at 14 weeks or something like that. But it's just a really big group hug. And then in the Pregnancy Bump Reddit, you get to see people are oh, I graduated from the group last night, and they're recapping their birth stories. And of course you hear all of these when people talk about giving birth to, which I don't know why they do this, but a lot of times when you're researching birth stories and stuff, everything's horrific. Everything is, oh my God, it was World War VII in my hoo-ha. I didn't, and of course everyone's birth experience is different. But when I'm reading these posts in the Reddit, it's wow, a lot of people are actually having really great birth experiences. And while more traumatic birth experiences get a lot more attention because people like to exchange war stories, and that's what's popular on the charts and stuff, on the charts it's a song, more popular on the feeds, it's really nice and refreshing to see that there is a good possibility that I could have a really good positive birth experience, and I don't have to be super, super worried about going through what it looks like I should go through based on what I see when I research and when I Google other people's birth experience stories. So shout out to Reddit, shout out to that community. If you're a mom expecting to be, I definitely say go on there, especially because it's anonymous. It's anonymous. That's the great part. And nobody's in there to be an asshole, but everybody's freely sharing what they're feeling because they know that no one's going to be oh, I'm going to Google where you work. I'm going to tell your job you fell asleep at lunch today. You're fired. And there's just a lot of great tips in there too. Yeah. I could go on for days, but I ain't gonna talk y'all ear off about Reddit. I love Reddit and I stay on Reddit. But if you're a pregnant mom and mom expecting to be, just search some of the groups on Reddit. There are some great groups out there that are full of support and people who are experiencing the same things you are. When it comes to tracking my symptoms, I was really big on tracking my symptoms in the first trimester, just because I kind of wanted to see a pattern. I wanted to have notes for when I talk to my doctor, especially because I was throwing up like all the time. But as I entered the second trimester, poof, the nausea did go away. I don't throw up anymore. I throw up like once every 2 weeks, and that's if I overeat, because she don't really dig the overeating. She be like, slow down, mama. I'll be like, got you, girl. And she will make me throw up everything I just ate. So I do listen to her. She runs my body right now. But the apps that I was using for tracking, I do use to see like daily updates about my baby, weekly updates. A lot of them will have great videos of like, oh, this is what your baby's doing in your stomach this week. This is what you can expect. You might feel some flutters. You might see the line, the vertical line on your belly. Oh, your baby's the size of a soda can or the size of a deck of cards. It's just very unique comparisons that, I don't know, make me feel closer to my baby. And I think 2 of the apps I actually use to track my bumps. So I try to take weekly bump pictures in the same kind of outfit in the same place in the house, so that I could just see the growth of the bump, because it's starting to be actual bump. Like it's no mistake. You know, week 10 was like, oh, she kind of chubby. Week 12 was like, it could be bump, it could be bloat. But baby, week 16, it's a baby up in. She's baking a thing. She's baking a bun. She's got bun in the oven. Yes, she does. But the apps, I lost my train of thought. We gotta talk about that in a second, but I'm gonna get there. The apps I use are Ovia, What to Expect, Baby Center, Flow, and The Bump. There are a lot of forums on these apps as well that can be super helpful, but I have found them to be kind of like any other app forum. Like it's just be careful if you go into them forums, it can get weird really quick. And I don't do bad vibes about my child, so I don't participate. But each app is great for something, and some people use one app, some people use no apps, but I do find those apps super helpful. And like I said, I like to see the weekly updates, because learning that my baby was the size of a can of soda. Let me see what she is today. Baby Center. Baby Center gives you like daily updates. Ovia is good for like, oh, this week your baby's like growing skin. You might notice your skin glowing or your nails growing. And then, okay, not Baby Center. The Bump. The Bump has little daily updates. Today, baby is the size of a can of soda, but weighs less than half as much. Yeah. So she the size of a can of Coke, but she weighs less than half a can of Coke, which really puts it into perspective for you. If that ever gets to the point where she says baby is the size of a Stanley Cup, I'll know what they're talking about. But the reason I stopped logging my symptoms too is because a lot of my symptoms were starting to feel kind of redundant. There was nothing super big that I needed to watch out for, especially once I stopped being so nauseous all the time. But like the past few weeks, all I was logging was excited, anxious, in love, moody, blah, overwhelmed, and weepy. And that was all just throughout the day. So the morning time was like, I'm so sick of this. The afternoon was like, I'm tired, I'm sleepy. And then the evening when I was settling down, I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I can't wait to meet my baby. I'm in love. I love her. I love everything. I'm going to sleep now. Okay, good night. And then we just restarted the cycle. So that's why I stopped logging my mood and my emotions and my symptoms. But if if that's something that you want to do, then those are great apps to do that. And it's great to, when you're going to the doctor, to have that data to back you up and be like, the past 2 weeks I was super nauseous. The past 2 weeks I've been feeling sad. The past 2 weeks I've had increased discharge. It's women watching. Y'all know what it be like. The past 2 weeks my boobs have been super sore. My back hurts all the time. I've had pains in my pelvis. That kind of stuff. It's good to have that to support. The hormones have been hormoning. I will say second trimester, I haven't been crying as much, but in the first trimester, baby, there were tears. There were lots of tears. And early second, there were lots of tears. Um, there, and it's not like, but it's a lot of like just my eyes getting wet, and I'm like, that hurt my feelings, or I really love that, or look at that. Like, two specific occasions that I can think of. On Christmas, my friends surprised me with a PowerPoint, a deck that was showing baby shower ideas that they had put together. And they had planned it all out. And they're like, yeah, you pick the theme, we'll put together the rest. They had color palettes, they had themes, they had everything. They had mood boards. And that's my love language. Like, acts of service. I was so happy to see that somebody had thought about me to put that together. So I cried like a baby. Like, I think I have a video. I might have to upload it. But your girl was boo. It was ugly. It was real ugly. And then I cried. I had to write this one down because I got to be super specific. But I cried during the football game when the Rams played the Lions because they showed Matthew Stafford, who plays for the Rams. They showed his daughters and his wife on the sideline. And he has, I think, 3 little girls. And they had on this jacket and these hats and matching shoes. And it said Detroit born, LA raised. And like, they were all just so cute because they were so excited for their daddy. And the mom was cute, but the kids was matching. And I just couldn't. CJ was sitting on the couch and I was like, that's so freaking, babe, look at it. I just can't. And then I'm just crying. I'm like, girl, what are you crying for? Suck it up. It was matching children. They matching on purpose. It's no divine intervention. Is my fat? Ew, my arm fat is doing that. Ugh. Okay, we gotta do some. Ooh, Lord. So finding out the gender. If y'all follow me, I have mentioned her, she, Zora. It's a girl. I'm pretty sure I posted it. I don't know. But we did find out, we confirmed with our NIPT, our non-invasive prenatal testing. We found out that it was a girl. And that was at about 13 weeks. That was, what was that? That was at 12 weeks. So around 13, 14 weeks, we got the test back. Found out she was a girl. But we already knew she was a girl because, well, we had a very strong inkling because at week 9, I actually wanted to know. So I did the sneak peek gender test at home where I just had to like collect some of my blood, which sounds very dramatic, but they made it super easy. The technology is just great where you just like snap a thing on there and you like hit it and it collects your blood in a vial and you send it back. They process it and they send you this lovely video that's like, you're having a pink girl. And so we found out at 9 weeks, and the blood test is more than 99% accurate. So I was pretty confident. If it would have been a boy result, I probably would have waited to announce because living with 2 males in my house, my husband and Turbo, there is a good chance for male contamination when doing a DNA test. So they do warn against that, but because she was a girl, they detected fetal female DNA. And so that meant she was a girl. And I was like, cool. Well, now it's going to be 2 women in this house to balance out all that testosterone because I'm tired of being dominated. But yeah, I found out at 9 weeks. That was well worth my money. But to a lot of people, I acted like I didn't know because I was tired of telling people, like, explaining to them how I found out. Because some people, I don't know if they thought I was just dumb, but they were like, you took an online test to find out and you trust it? Like, it wasn't a quiz that I did. How dumb do you think I am? Anyways, so appointment updates, because I do have them logged and people asked for them in the last video. So appointment updates since my last visit. I had my 12-week appointment, which is where I got the NIPT test done, the non-invasive prenatal test. And that was at the beginning of the year. It was a bit underwhelming. No, it was a bit underwhelming and overwhelming at the same time, in a sense that the things that I was expecting emphasis on, there wasn't. And the things that I wasn't really expecting emphasis on, there was. So I went with the idea of one thing happening, but then we went the other way. So there was no ultrasound. We didn't get an ultrasound at that appointment. We did get to hear her heartbeat, and her heart was in there beep 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 beeping. Oh, real good rate. But we went over like my medicines that I was currently on, or that I was on before I was pregnant, my symptoms, my habits, my daily habits, family history, things like that, which thankfully I don't really have much family history that has me to be like, oh, watch out for this. But there are some things that I had to let them know of. And then we discussed what type of testing that I wanted to do for my non-invasive prenatal test. I'm going to say NIPT, but I'm just trying to make sure y'all know what I'm talking about. So we had done the brand Unity. We got the NIPT test through the brand Unity, and we got our results back within about 5 days that confirmed that she was a girl, and confirmed whether she was a low risk baby or whether there were some things that we could possibly need to look out for, keep an eye out on. All her test results came back normal. All of mine came back great. In the past, before I was pregnant, I had some crazy like blood levels happening on my routine lab work. So I was really nervous about that. But they all came back wonderfully, like straight down the middle. I was like, okay, my A1C levels, they was like that. They was like that. My my thyroid levels, they was like that. They was like that. My vitamin D levels, because baby, my vitamin D levels was in the ground last time I got my test done. They were like, how are you even awake right now? But my vitamin D levels during that time, I was a high scorer. No, I wasn't a high scorer because that would have been bad. I was a great average score down the middle. My doctor was impressed. Not that I studied for it. I couldn't really control it, but hey, I'm doing something right. So, like I said, we didn't get to see her at the ultrasound place. I mean, we didn't get to see her at the doctor at the 12-week appointment, but my guilty pleasure is going to see my baby at an ultrasound boutique almost every 2 to 3 weeks, especially as she was growing in the second and Lord, no, not the second trimester, the second month, going into the third and fourth month. I would go see her every 2 weeks because she's growing like this, like rapid. Like ain't no little chickpea in there no more. She's a full bottle of soda, y'all, a can of soda. Y'all heard what they said earlier. So there's a few boutique ultrasound places around where we live, and it's like $50, $75 to go get like a 15-minute session where they print out photos. You get to see the progression of your baby. You get to see him moving around. Actually, that's where I felt her. That's where I confirmed what I was feeling as a kick, which was hilarious. Because she's sitting there and I like see her foot. I see her like do that. And at the same time, I feel it. And I'm like, oh. And the ultrasound tech was like, did you feel that? I was like, yeah. She's in there making noise. I see you, girl. And so we've been going to see her every 2 weeks. And now that I'm in my second trimester, I'm going to stop going. Well, I'm not going to stop because I do want to see her. But like 2 weeks from my last visit would be my next doctor's appointment, which will be my 20-week ultrasound. So I'm not going to go see her until that 20-week ultrasound because we went to see her last time and she had her back facing us. She didn't want to see no pictures. She was hugging my uterine wall or something like that. Like the lady was like, yeah, she's gravitating towards you, Mom, your body parts. I'm like, yeah, that's cool and all, but can she turn around? I'm trying to see a cute face. She was in there wiggling and she glanced. She literally turned around because it was a 3D ultrasound too. So she literally turned around and then turned back around. She like, here you go. She's like, did you catch it? Because if not, I'm not doing it again. And they had me coughing and trying to do everything to turn her which way. She wasn't going for it. So I said, all right, let's leave the baby alone. Give her some rest. Obviously, she in there working hard, growing. She just as tired as mommy. If I could be hugged up against a warm wall right now, I probably would too. So, hopefully I get to see her at 20 weeks. If not, then baby, we just gonna have to see each other when we see each other. It's okay. I know you there. And she know I'm here. She don't, but hopefully her instincts are telling her you're being protected. So to answer some questions, because I know I've been talking a lot, and if y'all are still here, I appreciate y'all sticking with your girl, because like I said, it's been a little crazy, but we here, we in the second trimester, we vibing. If y'all can tell, I got a lot more energy than I had in the last video and the last update. Like, I'm glowing, I'm thriving. I'll show y'all my bump here in a second. Let's see. Are you going to do? So these are some questions I asked on Instagram. I asked y'all in the last video to leave in the comments. People have been DMing me. It's just been a fun way to get some talking points for the video. So here's a list of questions and some answers that I have for y'all. Am I going to do a baby registry? Absolutely. I was talking about community. Community is buying them diapers, because diapers is expensive. And if I could get a little break on breaking off some change for some diapers, I will. So, registry link will be in the description. Well, actually, I put together like a little Notion link because we have a registry, yes, but we also have a money fund that we want for her college, because of course we're thinking about her future. So, a fund to fund her future, an investment in her future that will go into her college fund. It's also there, so there will be some links in the description of the video of her registry. And like, y'all, please, I feel like I don't have to say this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Don't feel obligated to buy nothing. Y'all are here to watch the video, but I know there are some people who do want to buy. So that link is there for people who want to buy and who are in a position to buy. Don't put yourself in no bind trying to support me. Your support is enough just by watching, and I appreciate y'all. How'd you guys decide on a name? So I went to Howard University for 2 years before I went to A&T, where I graduated from. And Zora Neale Hurston is a legendary icon in general, but she was the co-founder of The Hilltop, which is the student-led newspaper at Howard. So immediately when I heard her name, when I researched her, funny enough, like Queen Latifah could play her in a like biopic. Like she's just, you could tell that Zora Neale Hurston was a force, right? So when I heard of her, when I researched her, her books are great, her films are great. I actually have, let me show y'all, because this is funny. I have one of her great book of essays, You Don't Know Us Negroes, by Zora Neale Hurston. And it's just, if y'all are looking to get into her, it's a great read. But all that to say that when I heard her name, I just loved the name. I loved the way it rolled off the tongue. I loved that it was, you could tell it was a black ass name, but it wasn't anything that was like, gotta be careful with my words, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. It was a black name. It's a short name, which I appreciate as a girl whose name is 5 letters long. Kiara. Baby, can't but the name is just very majestic to me. And so literally in 2016, I put that name at the top of my, y'all know, if you a girl, you probably got a list of baby names that you've been building since you was in high school. You might not, but I did. And it was super cringy at first. Like, it was some names on that list, but I moved that name to the top. Zora has been at the top of my baby list names for girls since 2016. So as soon as we found out we was pregnant, I was like, oh, if it's a girl, her name is Zora. I already know. Like, there's no question. There was like a few options, but at the end of the day, I knew I wanted her name to be Zora. And her dad was like, great, I like it. Zora Laos, that's a cool ass name. I was like, yeah, because she gonna be a cool ass kid. So choosing the girl name was easy. If it was a boy, I was kind of prepared, but it was some list that we was gonna have to go through. I'm glad she's a girl. Second question. Did you take any supplements or make any changes to get pregnant because of PCOS? I love this question because I did. It was a very funny, ironic kind of way that I think God was giggling at me. Because I had PCOS. I still have it. And the doctor who diagnosed me with PCOS, she lacked a lot of bedside manner. And when she told me that I had PCOS, she also told me that there was a good chance I wasn't going to have any kids. Now, she didn't even explain PCOS to me for real. She was just like, yeah, it just means your ovaries like don't work the way they're supposed to, and you're probably not going to have any kids. So you should probably think of like alternative options. She said you probably won't have any kids naturally. So you might want to think of some like alternative options, blah, blah, blah. And that was the last I heard from that doctor. So once I dealt with the scary situation of that, I was on birth control to regulate a lot of my PCOS symptoms and my hormonal variations, which were crazy. But around August of last year, I had became known to this supplement called My Happy Flow. And it was supposedly like a really good game changer for women who just suffered with like extreme PMS symptoms, which I did. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to take them. Because all the reviews was like, this helped me. This helped. Like, I haven't had a painful period. My acne cleared up. Oh, blah, 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 blah. I've had like a regular period finally. No more irregular periods. Because let me tell you, 40-day cycles, 45-day, 50-day cycles is not it. Not it, honey. So those supplements, they helped. But do you know what else they did? They made me fertile. They made me fertile. So in those reviews that I was reading, I was seeing I had a regular period. Oh, no more heavy symptoms, blah, blah, blah. You know, the one review that I read over that I should have probably paid attention to, it said, this allowed me to have kids. That girl was having PCOS and she took them supplements and she had her baby. And I, too, took them supplements. And 2 months later, was pregnant. So I ain't saying that them supplements made me fertile or made me not have whatever PCOS was blocking to not have a child. But cause and effect. I did take those supplements on the regular, and as a result, I did end up pregnant. I don't know, but you asked. you asked, so I'm just saying. So I didn't take them to get pregnant. I took them to relieve myself from stressful period cycles. It just so happened that in the process of doing that, I got pregnant. Next question. Do you feel the baby moving inside you? Yes, and it's so freaking... You see how my face light up talking about it? It's so fun. Especially now that I can identify her kicks. Well, let me say this. I'm going to backtrack my statement. It's an experience. Because it's fun when you realize that she's kicking you. When you feel those little bloops, bloop, 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 bloop. And you feel a little doo. Or you feel a little... But when you sitting or laying down and all you feel is tickle, 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 tickle for 5 to 10 minutes constantly, I'd be like, all right now, you chill out in there. I don't know why you so active at 10:30 p.m. in the nighttime. But baby, can you go to sleep? Because I'm trying to get some sleep because I'm exhausted because of you. So it has been a wonderful experience to feel her. Like her, it hasn't been like full kicks. Like I'm not 30 weeks pregnant yet. People be talking about like the full jabs. And I am very patiently waiting to get there. I ain't excited for those. But I am excited to feel them because she does kind of react to things. Like her dad will be making like noises on my belly. He likes to make kind of like fart noises, like vibrations that I'm sure she could feel. And she reacts to those, which is funny because I'm only 16 weeks pregnant at this time. But yeah, it's more spurts of bubbles. Fishbowl, like it feels like she's a fish. If y'all haven't seen my short, I will link it because y'all gotta see the short. But yeah, it's a great feeling to feel her moving around, and I can't wait till they get a little bit more regular, that I can like count them and I can kind of feel it. I can't wait to feel it from the outside. Because when I can feel it from the outside and her dad can be able to feel it, that's awesome. Because he be trying to feel it and I be feeling bad because I be excited. I'm like, she's doing it. She's active. And he's like, oh, where? I'm like, you can't. It's a cool people party. But if you can't get in right now, you'll have to wait. You got to wait for the general tickets to be released before you can feel this baby. No, I'm playing. He's great. He's great. Next question. Do you think you have mom brain already? So, I actually don't know. I think I do, but I also am an ADHD person. I am also a person with ADHD who is unmedicated right now. So what could be mom brain could also just be my unmedicated brain. But there have definitely been some brain farts, man. Like, I have to make a lot of, well, I already was a calendar and a notes type of person, but if something needs to get done, if I want to do something, I need to just make myself kind of do it or leave myself a very strong reminder to do it. Like calls, work calls, I will forget those. So I have to be like on my own ass about getting on those calls because pregnancy ain't finna affect my employment, you know? But yeah, like I do forget things. I forget like what I'm saying in the middle of what I'm saying. Like this video itself has like 12 bloopers already because I've been talking, and as I'm talking, I can feel the thought just floating away. I'm like, wait, come back. It was good. And then it just goes away. So I have to pause, regroup, and regenerate that thought. So yeah, mom brain. So unregulated ADHD and depression definitely causes a little foggy brain up there. And some days are a lot foggier than others, especially if I'm tired, if I didn't get enough rest that night, or if I just didn't have a restful sleep. Yeah, it's definitely there. I have been having a hard time focusing as well. I've had a hard time initiating tasks too, which is part of the ADHD. But like recording this video itself, I'm like 2 weeks late. I've had the outline written. I've had everything ready, but just starting the task and other things like that, like just starting it has been the hardest part for me. Once I'm doing it, it's cool. I'm done. I'm excited to be doing it. But starting wants to whoop my ass every time. So I just kind of got to throw myself in there. You get what I'm saying? Does CJ hold some symptoms? CJ's my husband. CJ, only symptom, well, he has two. He when I asked him, he was like, what? If I'm having symptoms, you should be worried. And I'm like, no, babe, but that's like actually a thing. Like guys, the dads do get, like they do experience some changes because of pregnancy. So his only two are like, he want to eat when I eat, and I want to eat all the time. And he wants to sleep when I sleep, and I go to sleep real early. Which granted, we both look like some little old people. We always go to sleep at like 8:30, 9 o'clock. But lately, since this pregnancy, baby, 6:45 hit, I'm going to bed, and he be right behind me. So yeah, we both get our sleep in. But he be up at like 3. And he'll be like, what time are you going to bed? I'm like, I don't know. I'm still asleep. I ain't waking up till 6, 7:30. Okay, leave me alone. Craven's List. Last one. Craven's List. Oh, no, not last one. Second to last one. How are you handling being off your meds? Piece of vulnerability moment. It has not been the greatest. Thankfully, after my most recent visit to the doctor, I did tell her about what I was experiencing, and I was able to talk to a psychiatrist and like get back on the meds, my Zoloft and my Wellbutrin, because those really help regulate some of my emotions and some of the like crazy ends of the spectrums that I feel throughout the day. And like I was feeling everything super strong. All the feelings I'm feeling super strong. But the feelings that bothered me that I was feeling was like frustration and like overstimulation. So like the dog, for example, he likes to whine. He likes to bark when he's in his cage. Typically, that does not bother me. But during this pregnancy, it feels like he is right here in my ear, barking and yapping, and I just want to scream and I want to cry, and it makes me so sad that I feel that way. And so I had to be honest about that with my doctor, and she was like, that's normal. Lots of moms feel that way. And I'm just like, yeah, I gotta do something, because if this is how I feel about a dog, how will I feel when my baby gets here? And I don't want to feel that way. And I know that that's, somebody will say, that's natural. You could be frustrated. But like, I don't want to be so frustrated that I want to scream back. I don't want to be in a yelling match with my baby or my dog. So stuff like that. And then just being in a kind of, I don't know if you would say that I'm in a depressed like episode, but just more of a depressive state. So I'm like very bummy lately. Like, I don't really want to leave the house if I don't have to. I don't really like getting up to do things just because I get so tired so fast. Like, my social battery is non-existent. So I have definitely felt the effects of not being on my meds, and it has taken a toll on me. But it's something that after I talked to my doctor, I kind of felt like, I know that my baby feels pretty much everything that I feel. So if I can get back on the meds and those benefits outweigh both of us feeling the sadness and the blah and the depression that I feel, then I'm all good. I'm excited to start back up. So next month I should have an update for y'all about how I've been affected by starting back up on my meds. And I won't be starting back up on the ADHD meds, which kind of sucks. But I can deal with battling the 2 out of the 3. So I'm good with that. And last question. Cravings list. These are not all things that I feel at once, just by the way. Because when I say them, y'all gonna be like, what? Pickles? Duh. Potatoes, especially mashed and baked. Breakfast potatoes and roasted potatoes too. So all the potatoes for real. Like, just give me a baked potato with some butter, sour cream, and cheese. Maybe some chives. I'm gonna eat it. Steak. And it don't help that we live up the street from a Texas Roadhouse, because I want a steak all the time. Give me a ribeye, please. Give me a New York strip, please. Medium well. Thank you. Buffalo sauce, specifically from Chick-fil-A, especially when I order me a spicy Chick-fil-A sandwich with extra pickle. And yes, that's how I ask for it. I say, hey, I know I said extra, but can you do extra? Like, can you max out that extra? And they be like, yeah, for sure. And I'm like, appreciate it. Burgers, hot dogs. Like, I want CJ to open the grill so bad and just cook me some burgers and hot dogs so I can just eat them with pickles and mustard. Anyway, I'm gonna ask him. It's supposed to rain this weekend. I'm gonna ask him to do it for me one weekend. And soft serve ice cream. So, and like not frozen yogurt, but like, what is Talenti? Talenti. What is Talenti? Gelato. Yeah. So like, not the hard ice cream, but the soft one. Like, I had some Bluebell soft serve, and it was just so like cloudy feeling in my mouth. I loved it. So yeah, y'all. That's been my experience from the last update to now. I'm now 4 months pregnant. And let me show y'all this bump, I guess. So here is. I got the belly band on, and so it's, she there, and she's firm. Can't really see it this way, but you can see she there. So yeah, the bump is a lot more defined now. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this update. Camera's crooked. Update. I know it's pretty long. I'm pretty long-winded. But it's full of good stuff, full of some fun stories, some fun recaps, and it's really fun for me to sit up here and just talk, because you experience things day to day and you don't really notice the change until you go back and you actually reflect. So this is a lot more for me than it probably is for y'all, and I'm okay with that. If y'all like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I am trying to vlog a little more, but I'm trying to make sure I stay away from my entire personality becoming, oh, I'm pregnant, oh, I'm a mom, yeah, fun stuff. Because I still like to do other stuff, like designing over here. So if those are the kind of vlogs and videos that y'all like, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Check the description for like a lot of stuff that I mentioned as far as links go. And let me know what y'all thought. If y'all have any questions, let me know to answer the next video. I'll probably do the next video when I am 5 or 6 months pregnant. Oh, yikes. 6 months means that I'm really close to 9 months. That's crazy. Yeah. Or, ooh, that just made me hot. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna post updates. Just so we clear. I'll probably post one more before I do enter the 3rd trimester. So just be on the lookout for that. If you want to follow me on socials, I post a lot on TikTok and Instagram. Follow me there. It's the same at Hey Keepy Key. Say hey. And I will see y'all. Me and Zora. We'll see y'all in the next video. Bye. Whew.